Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the gap between who you are and who you could become is wider than you ever thought. Not because you lack potential, but because no one ever taught you how to unlock it. Today, we explore the science-backed path to becoming the best version of yourself. This is not motivation. It is neuroscience, psychology, and habit formation put together in a practical, step-by-step guide. Settle in, breathe, and let's begin. Section 1. The Identity Shift. The first step to becoming the best version of yourself is not changing your habits. It is changing your identity. Most people try to improve themselves by focusing on behavior. They say things like, "I want to work out more," or "I want to be more disciplined." But behavior is the surface layer. Below it is identity, the deepest layer of the human mind. Neuroscientists explain that your brain filters your actions through your sense of self. If you believe you are lazy, your brain will unconsciously make choices that align with laziness. If you believe you are disciplined, your mind will push you toward disciplined actions. So the question becomes, who do you believe you are? And who do you want to become? The science is clear. The moment you shift your identity, your actions follow. The brain reorganizes itself around the story you tell about yourself. This process is called neuroplasticity, the ability of your brain to rewire itself through repeated thoughts and behaviors. To become the best version of yourself, the first upgrade happens inside your mind. Section 2. The Biology of Growth. Humans are wired for survival, not excellence. The brain is naturally drawn to predictability, comfort, and safety. This is why change feels difficult. When you try to improve, your brain interprets it as a threat. It responds with resistance, procrastination, and self-sabotage. But here is the good news: your brain can be trained. The prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for planning, decision-making, and self-control, grows stronger the more you use it. Just like muscles grow through resistance, your mind grows through disciplined choices. Every time you push yourself, even a little, your biology adapts. This is the science of becoming better. Not overnight, but daily. Section 3. The 1% Rule. Becoming the best version of yourself does not require huge changes. It requires consistent micro-improvements. James Clear popularized the idea that improving by 1% each day leads to massive transformation over time. But the science behind it goes deeper. One small improvement triggers a dopamine release. Dopamine is not just the pleasure chemical. It is the motivation chemical. When you see progress, your brain wants more progress. The loop continues. Your habits reinforce your identity, and your identity reinforces your habits. This is why small wins matter. They create psychological momentum. Improvement becomes addictive in a good way. Section 4. The Power of Environment. You become your environment, whether you notice it or not. Your surroundings shape your habits, your beliefs, and even your identity. Psychologists have found that environment influences behavior more than motivation. A cluttered room increases stress. Constant noise reduces focus. Unsupportive people drain discipline. To become the best version of yourself, audit your environment. Ask yourself, what in my space helps me grow? What holds me back? Sometimes success is not about working harder. It is about removing friction. Section 5. Neuroscience of Habit Chain. Every habit grows through a 3-step loop: cue, routine, reward. This loop is powered by a part of the brain called the basal ganglia. Once habits are formed, they run automatically. This means your habits are the autopilot version of you. The science of becoming your best self is learning how to control your autopilot. Here is how habit rewiring works. Make the cue obvious. If you want to read more, keep the book on your table. Make the routine easy. Start with 1 page, not 1 hour. Make the reward satisfying. Celebrate the completion. Even small joy reinforces the habit. As you repeat the loop, your neural pathways strengthen. The behavior becomes natural. Eventually, it becomes part of who you are. That is the science of long-term transformation. Section 6. The role of discipline and motivation. Motivation is unreliable. It rises and falls like weather. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. Discipline activates the prefrontal cortex. It strengthens the brain circuits responsible for long-term thinking. The more often you practice discipline, the more automatic it becomes. Think of discipline as a muscle. If you use it daily, even at low weight, it grows. The best version of yourself is not motivated all the time. They simply do what needs to be done, even when they do not feel like it. Section 7. The science of confidence. Confidence is not a gift, it is a result. It grows through evidence. Your brain builds confidence based on repeated proof that you can trust yourself. Every promise kept increases self-belief. Every promise broken damages it. This means confidence is a skill you build, not a personality trait. You become confident by doing difficult things, by keeping commitments, by showing your brain that you are someone who follows through. Confidence is the memory of past accomplishments. Your future self depends on the evidence you collect today. Section 8. Emotional intelligence and self-mastery. The best version of you is not just disciplined and productive. They are emotionally intelligent. Emotionally intelligent people understand their feelings, regulate their reactions, and think before acting. This ability is linked to the amygdala and prefrontal cortex working together. When emotions take over, the amygdala triggers impulsive behavior. But when you pause, breathe, and think, the prefrontal cortex takes control. The science here is simple. You cannot control life, but you can control how you respond to it. The best version of you is calm under pressure, patient with growth, and wise in decision-making. Section 9. The importance of energy management. Becoming better requires energy, but your energy is not just physical. It includes mental energy, emotional energy, and spiritual energy. When your energy is low, your performance drops, your decisions worsen, you become reactive instead of proactive. Science shows that rest, sleep, hydration, and nutrition directly affect your brain's ability to function. A high-performance life requires high-performance energy. Section 10. Social connections and alignment. You rise or fall to the level of the people around you. Humans mirror the behaviors of those they spend time with. This is called social contagion. It affects your ambitions, habits, and mindset. To become your best self, align your circle with your future, not your past. Choose people who challenge you, people who inspire discipline, people who represent where you want to go. Section 11. Overcoming fear and self-doubt. Fear is not a sign that you should stop. It is a sign that you are growing. Your brain cannot tell the difference between fear of danger and fear of improvement. Both trigger the same fight or flight response. The science-backed solution is exposure. When you face your fears repeatedly, the amygdala becomes less reactive. Your brain learns that the discomfort is safe, and the fear loses its power. Growth begins where fear ends. Section 12. Building a system for your life. The best version of yourself does not rely on willpower. They rely on systems. A system is a routine that runs automatically, like morning rituals, daily learning cycles, weekly reviews, and goal tracking. Systems create the structure that carries you toward your goals, even when motivation is low. Success is not about intensity. It is about consistency. Section 13. Future self-visualization. One of the most powerful psychological tools is future self-visualization. Your brain cannot differentiate between imagination and reality. Studies show that mental rehearsal activates the same neural pathways as actual practice. If you consistently visualize your future self, your brain begins to believe that version of you is real. It then directs your behavior toward that identity. See who you want to become. Feel what it is like. Then act accordingly. Section 14. lifelong learning, and skill mastery. Your growth depends on your willingness to learn. The world changes fast, and the only way to keep evolving is through continuous education. Your brain forms new connections every time you learn something new. This process protects against decline, improves creativity, and enhances problem solving. The best version of you is always curious, always learning, always improving. Becoming the best version of yourself is not luck. It is not talent. It is not motivation. It is science. It is identity. It is consistency. It is environment. It is discipline. It is emotional mastery. It is the decision to grow a little each day. Your future self is waiting for you. Not at the finish line, but in the next step you take. If you apply even half of what you learned today, the transformation begins. Slowly, quietly, powerfully. And one day, you will look in the mirror and realize that the person you always wanted to become, the person you believed was possible, is finally here.